My name is Sierra Fagans, and this is my Lesson 7 signature assignment. I'll be touching on 4 concepts in this video, including who I am as a person, the career I've chosen to pursue, what I'll need to do in order to reach my career goal, and where I expect to be several years from now. To start, I'll be talking about who I am and the things I've learned about myself the past few weeks during this class. Throughout this course, the assignments have been pretty eye-opening, and while there were several things I already knew about myself, I learned some things I never knew before as well. According to 16 personalities, I'm classified as an INTP, or logician, which they say are people who use logic rather than emotion when it comes to conflict and are more susceptible to being cynical. When comparing these results to the DST map I created, it was shocking to see how many connections I was able to make between the life experiences I've had and why my personality is the way that it is. As Brockenbrenner stated, human development takes place through processes of progressively more complex reciprocal interaction between an active, evolving biopsychological human organism and the persons, objects, and symbols in its immediate environment. All of the interactions I've had growing up have led me to this point, and it's honestly pretty crazy to think about. I think the biggest impacts on my development were how dedicated I became to dancing, the personalized education that I received, and bearing witness to a lot of struggle between my parents. I believe the reason I'm more cynical than most is due to the toll the dance community has on people and how negative it makes you become. I tend to use logic more than emotion after watching the emotional toil my parents went through. While there's definitely so much more that probably influenced my personality, I think these are at the top of the list. When looking at what my passions and biases are in relation to the personality test and my DST map, it makes sense that I would feel a bit biased towards men having the harder jobs while women don't, because that's all I saw while growing up. My dad worked a full-time job as an electrical engineer slash computer coding, while my mom stayed at home with me. It also makes sense, though, that I would be so passionate about education and wanting to become a teacher since my mom was so invested in my education. I think this made me want to provide that same level of attentiveness to students of my own so that other children can also have a great education. Speaking of becoming a teacher, the career I've chosen to pursue is a lead teacher in 3rd grade. While I do have a strong passion for education, I believe the subconscious reason that I chose this career is due to a little bit of implicit bias. Like we learned from BBC News, implicit bias is bias that we harbor unintentionally. And the reason I think I'm biased towards education is because of both the education I was able to receive as a child and the fact that there are several other members of my family that are or were teachers. Nonetheless, I know this is the career I want to pursue, especially since I was able to easily decide on my needs and wants in relation to this career and how I can tie in my interests to this career as well. Since 2 of my main interests are art and literature, I can seamlessly use these within the curriculum I am teaching by adding a few projects here and there, and literature is already taught at a lot of schools. I enjoy working in a team, so as long as I have a team who is supportive, one of my needs will already be met, and as long as I'm able to stay close to my mom, I really don't need much else. All I'm hoping for is the opportunity to make a positive impact on the students I'll be teaching and be able to shape them into excellent students and proper individuals who have good hearts and good morals. Within the teaching community I'll be working in, I'm hoping that we will all be able to influence each other and have the appropriate impact on one another that will positively impact our teaching and better our own skills. In order for me to reach this point, however, there are a few milestones that I'll have to reach. First off, I need to complete my degree program that I'm enrolled in right now, which is early childhood studies. Secondly, I need to start gaining experience in my field. And fortunately, I was lucky enough to get an assistant teacher position at a school a couple months ago, which also helped solidify my decision to pursue this career. Later on down the road, I'm going to need to get my teaching certificate to prove that I'm qualified to teach. And once I graduate with my bachelor's degree, I'll be moving on to obtain my master's degree. While I may be able to reach my career goal without a master's degree, if I want to possibly get a higher paying job in a better location, I might need to have one. Working on my professional image during this time is also something that will help me in the long run. As Starks wrote in her interview with Laura Roberts, your professional image is the set of qualities and characteristics that represent perceptions of your competence and character as judged by your key constituents. And if I want to be a respected teacher, I need to have the appropriate image. I can use a continuing professional development plan to help with this. Like we learned from the reading by Colin, Vanderheiden, and Lewis, a CPD aims to increase professional expertise, professional competence, and individual well-being. as well as to increase the competitiveness and effectiveness of organizations and professions. Sticking to a plan such as this will be helpful in ensuring that I develop a professional image that will be accepted and appreciated by my coworkers. In 3 years, I hope to be finished with my bachelor degree program and moving on to the next step in reaching my career goal, which would be continuing my education and possibly finding a third grade teacher position that maybe doesn't require a master's degree. Once I finally reach my career goal, which will hopefully be in about 5 years, I don't want to just stop there. What is a career if not constantly trying to improve yourself and expand on your skills and knowledge? If I am able to reach my career goal without obtaining a master's degree, I will still pursue this form of higher education in order to better my abilities so that I can provide an even better education to my students. If I want to take it even further, I might aim to receive my national certification to really prove that I know my stuff. And having a certification such as this will also help me seem more valuable, so I will hopefully be more wanted by schools. In 10 years, my expectation is that I will have the job that I want in the location that I want and be making enough money to be able to comfortably support myself. As Stark said, I need to be the author of my own identity, and in 10 years' time, I'm hoping to have done exactly that and maybe more. I'm looking forward to the day where I'm able to reflect on the things that I have accomplished and finally say I've made it. Thank you for watching my signature assignment, and here's to hoping I will achieve the future that I have planned for myself.